Hey there, awesome TurboTax accountant. Mark Frauke here. In this video, we're going to be talking about case number 3. This is video number 1, and this is a retired couple. This is James and Laura Pankow. James and Laura Pankow. And James and Laura will have, they're a retired couple without any children that they are financially supporting. They have pension income. They have some Social Security income. They're going to have some interest and dividend income from some of their investments and savings accounts. Then they will have some rental income on a property that they own, real estate, a single family home that they rent out. They'll have some investment income from trading stocks and bonds. And then we'll also have some estimated payments. So this is a typical situation for some people that are older and have accumulated some assets, and these are the types of things that they would have. So let's get started. I started the program and I went in, said start without transferring, and first name here is James. And retired is the occupation. No armed services, and the zip code is 90740. Of course, as usual, all of this is fictitious information. California was the state of residence and lived there all year long. The birth date is 11/2/1927. No one can claim me as a dependent, and none of these apply. This is for James, and James was married to Laura. So put that in. And Laura's occupation is also retired. No military service. Lived in California, and all year long. Birth date is 5/31/1933. And Laura cannot be claimed, and none of these apply. So no money in any other states, and we do not support any children or anybody else. So the program wants to do it married filing jointly, which is perfect. And so we'll continue. I'm going to pause the video and put this information in for their last name. I'll be right back. Okay, so their information is, their last names are in. And now we have to put in the address information, so I'll do that. All right, so I've got their information in there through the magic of video, and I will continue on. Social Security numbers, I will type those in. Alrighty, and I will continue now that I've got their Social Security numbers in. And here is their personal summary, and that all looks just fine. So we will continue on with that. And so there is no W-2s for these people. They do not have a job, so we don't have any W-2s, but we will have some other income, of course, for them. But for now, we're going to say we don't have any W-2s. And then I'll choose what I work on. And the first thing that the program is looking for is income items. Income items. So the first income item is going to be their pension plan distributions. So if we scroll down under wages and income to retirement plans and Social Security, and if you look, the very first one says pension plan withdrawals 1099-R. This is in your handout. And we do have two. We have one for each of them. One is for CalPERS and one is for CalSTRS. That's the two pensions that these people get. So we will say yes. And because it's fictitious, we'll just type this in. And this is a 1099-R for James. And the information is very similar to a W-2, but it's not a W-2. It's specifically for pensions and retirement plans. So I will pause the video and type in this information, and then we'll go through it. Okay, so I've entered all the information for James, who is getting a pension from CalPERS. So the address and the federal ID number. And then based on the information that's in your handout, we've got gross distributions, 66,163.68, which is both the gross and the taxable amount. Federal withholding tax is 10,505.35. We also have to put in the code in box 7 for a normal distribution. And then the state information is the 204125 is the state withholding tax in the state of California. The state payer ID number 66136 is also in your handout. All this information is there. So this is everything for James. So I'm going to click continue. And no, there's no IRA. James was not a public safety officer. This was from a qualified plan. All of these things, answers are in your handout from a qualified plan. Was this withdrawal an RMD? Yes, it was. But only part of it was considered a RMD. RMD is required minimum distribution. And the required minimum distribution amount for James is $25,000. So we'll continue there. Did he move it into another retirement plan? The answer is no. He did get regular payments. Is this the first year? No. He started getting payments in previous years. Yes, the amount in 2A is the taxable amount. And there is our the summary. And the federal refund at this point is $6,247, just so you have a check figure there. And then we will add another 1099-R. Type it in myself. This is going to be for Laura. So we have to change that. This is still a 1099-R for a pension for CalSTRS. And so I will pause the video. I'll put this information in and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have now put in the information for Laura's 1099-R from CalSTRS. Again, we have a gross distribution and taxable amount is the same amount. Federal income tax was withheld. This is a normal distribution. So box 7 needs option 7. And then the state information down below here, 625. 25 was the withholding for state, and distribution amount is the same for the state. So now when I continue, it's going to ask me the same questions that we had to answer for James. And the answers are all exactly the same. This is a qualified plan. Part of the distribution, this is different than James. Her distribution RMD was $5,000. And she cashed it out. She did get regular payments from this retirement account. That means that she was paid monthly. This is not the first year. And yes, box 2A was the taxable amount. And there's our summary. So it shows $78,561.84 as the total of the distributions for both Laura and James. So right now our check figure is $8,101 is the federal refund. So we'll do continue. And then we have to ask answer some other questions. This was not any sort of a disaster distribution. James received all of the RMD that he was supposed to receive, and so did Laura. And so now we're back to the wages and income screen. Our next step is to put in the Social Security benefits. So if you scroll down, right underneath where we put in the pension is the Social Security. Social Security is reported on Form SSA 1099. In other words, it's a 1099 from the Social Security Administration. And we will say, yes, let's work on Social Security benefits. And this is not a railroad thing, so we get a box or a window that has all the things we need to put in. I will pause and put this in right from the handout, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have typed in the information for both James and Laura based on the handout, and I will click continue. Is there a lump sum? No, neither James nor Laura received a lump sum distribution for Social Security for 19 or prior years. And so that is it, easy peasy. Our refund dropped down to $33.74. And our last thing to do, and this is all on page 1 of the handout, is to put in the interest and dividend information. So we will scroll down to where it says interest and dividends. We have a couple of interest ones to put in and a couple of dividends to put in. So where it says interest on 1099 INT, we'll start. And yes, interest income, we'll type it in. First one is from LBS FCU, Federal Credit Union. And the interest income is $849.70. And it's both. And we will continue. None of these apply. And we have one more. type it in. This is USAA. And the interest income is $1285.66. Both. And continue. None of these apply. And we're done with interest income. So if we had more, we could say yes and keep putting them in, but we don't. So our total here is $849.70 and $128.85.66, $21.35, and our federal refund is now $29.01. That's your check figure. And then the last thing to do in this video, again, this is still on page 1, is a dividend. So dividends on 1099-DIV. I'm going to put that in. Did you receive dividend income? Yes, we did. We will type it in. And it is Apple Computers. And we've got ordinary dividends of $1822.36. And we need to also enter the same number into 1B. And this was for both James and Laura. Continue. None of these apply. And we have one more. We'll type it in. It is General Motors. Ordinary dividends, $1645.36. Qualified, $1645.36. And again, both taxpayers. And we'll continue. None of these apply. We do not have any more dividend income, and so our total dividend income is $3467.72. And we're done. So that's it for this video. Right now, our federal refund number is $2381. $2381. There's our check figure. So I will stop this video and then I'll continue on with the rest. This will be on page 2 for James and Laura pay count. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.